Hello everyone, and welcome back to the second part on this tutorial of how to create the light setup for exterior scenes. And this time, as I told you at the end of the first part, I told you that we are going to deal with a little bit of how to set the shaders inside our this kind of light scene, and this is how we are going to do this. Okay, so first we will need to work with texture files, okay, and also without them, but the most important thing here is how to deal with texture files in this kind of light setup, okay? And I will create a new polyplane here in our scene, just so we have something that blocks some of the light. Okay, and we do have this sphere here which we created earlier. Now, before we continue with those shaders, there is another thing I want to show you, just in case you didn't know. In the render setting, sorry, in the render setting, we have this preset tab. Okay, so this preset tab allow us to actually save the settings which we did earlier, okay, at the first part, for this this kind of light setup. Okay, so you can go over preset, choose to save setting as preset, name it without any spaces, or I don't know, sometimes it creates some difficulties for Maya to save it, so just name it with one straightforward word. Okay, save it, and the next time you want to use it, you can go over load preset, and here it will add it to the default setting. You will get another choice to choose from here. You can also delete the one you created. So let's just name it like exterior mental ray. Okay, so I will put M for mental and R for, and just save the preset, preset, load preset. You can see that now we have it here. So anytime when you want to create a new scene, you can load this setup to your new scene. But I'm not sure about the camera though, because you will have to check the camera and the photographic exposure to see if it's applied also the same setup. Okay, let's move on. We have a few things to finish here. Okay, let's build our shader. So we will go over window, rendering editor, and Hypershade. And it's not that hard, it's very easy. While you are practicing it a few times, you can get used to do whatever I'm going to do now. It looks almost the same as we did build the perspective camera nodes. So here we are dealing the same with nodes, and we need to make sure that those nodes are pretty much easy. And I will give you a few also tips how to get things done. Okay, so we have this sphere here, and we want to bring it a shader. And if I will give this shader Blinn or any of the Maya material, it won't look that good in this kind of light setup. So we need to choose something else. We need to choose something that fits the mental ray tab. Okay, so the mental ray engine. So let's click on mental ray, and down here we can find the most common node for mental ray use is Maya Material X. Okay, so if I will click on it, it will edit itself over here to the work area and also to my materials board. And now we can do some adjustments of the color, okay? But if we don't want to use a color, we can actually click on this checkered box here and choose File, and then you can see that over my work area in the Hypershade I get a black kind of look. This is because we didn't already load yet the file texture. So here you can see that the menu has changed, and we can change the image over from here, from this folder. Just click on the folder icon here and navigate to your texture file folder. Okay, so home 2, you got okay, my case it's apps again, everything's directed to the same folder. So okay, texture I'm using, and here you can just pick one of them, and with your arrows just to you know, switch between your texture to see which one you want. It's much easier that way. Let's use, let's say this one. No, it's black. Okay, that's okay that this is black. Let's choose this one. Okay, and choose to open. Okay, now most of the time you will need to adjust the place to the texture node in order to get this little texture to fit in the UVs of this this sphere. Okay, I really chose a very bad example because now I need to deal with it also. So that doesn't I don't care, but you will have to spend a little bit much more time with me while I'm doing this. So I'm choosing this sphere just to do some automatic UVs mapping. So polygons over here, create UVs, and we'll choose the spherical mapping in order to maybe get the best result for this. And I want to render this out first. Okay, so let's click and render this sphere out. You can see that this texture is very it looks bad because it doesn't really UV mapped it. We have the coverage and the repeat UVs for this texture is very bad, so we need to change it. It's quite easy. You go to the place texture editor of this file, which is here, and you just increase the numbers somewhere, make sure it's equal numbers, and you can see here by the look of this node here that now it shows more of this pattern. Okay, so we can maybe choose to render this again, and maybe we will get just a little good result for this ball. Now if it still doesn't look that good, you can try to change the coverage to from 1 to 2 maybe. Hit enter, and maybe here we will put 10 instead of 5. Okay, and let's render this again. Okay, that looks pretty nice. Maybe I will choose the mirror just to see if it affects. Yeah, pretty much doesn't look that good. So maybe like this. No, we will unuse the mirrors, and maybe we will rotate this texture. Okay, never mind. whatever, it looks fine with me right now, and I could get rid of the vignette kind of look if I don't want it. I'm not sure why it's there. I don't remember what I did last time, so maybe I played a little bit with the vignette effect. So the vignette effect is in the Maya exposer, and maybe I will reduce this and great. So maybe also change it to 9 and probably played a lot. Okay, so you can see that there's lots of light here and it's causing a little bit of problem, and we need to keep on building this shader. So now the problem with our shader is that it doesn't fit the exact values that we we applied to the exposure photographic node, or actually for the Maya physical sun and sky node. And you remember when I asked you in the hypergraph connection to actually take, sorry, let's choose the camera and do this. Okay, you see I chose the camera from the outliner and click on this icon, which is the input and output connections for this for this camera. So the Maya physical sun and sky node, we did apply the 0.318 values for the RGB unit conversion. So this is why we need to do some changes to our shaders. So as you saw, this is a simple node of Maya Material X, and this is the file which we attach to it instead of the color, and we need to bring some new node over here, and this node can be found over the Maya tab here. Just scroll down and look for something that says gamma correction, which is also looks like a leaf. Okay, so click on it and it will edit itself over here. And leaf, I'm not sure, whatever you choose it to be. So what we are going to do with it, the gamma correction is supposed to be like it says, gamma correction. Okay, and we do have some problem we need to fix with this gamma correction that apply to the scene. Okay, and it's very easy to do. So what we are going to do, we are just going to break off the connection here. But before we're going to break the connection here between the file and the shader itself, we need to check which in which inputs and outputs those two nodes are connected, as we did before with the Maya exposer photographic. So the file out color goes to the Maya Material X diffuse. Okay, and this is it. So first you delete this and you pick the file, click and hold down the mouse wheel, middle mouse button, okay, and over this node, okay, and release. Choose value from the pop-up menu, and that's it. Now with this gamma correction, we will click on it also with our middle mouse button, and over it to this node and release, and choose diffuse. So the next thing is just to give this gamma correction the exact values we need. Okay, and this is very easy. Just click on it, click gamma 0.454 and apply it to all those fields of the gamma, and then you finished. Now let's have a look of what we had. So if you click on this, it will show you the last render picture, even if you didn't save there. Okay, so now we will save this and we will do another render just to see the differences between those two values. Okay, so now you can see that even though that there is plenty of light over this scene, our RGB color for this object actually looks pretty damn good for whatever we are going to use it. Okay, so it doesn't get affected much of the light we have in our scene, and it's actually like preserving the colors, or make them still be visible no matter what the amount of light we have here. Okay, so the next thing is just to do some different values for few sliders in this shader. Is just to come and take the Maya material here and at the same time look at the attribute editor for this node, for this shader, and maybe add some roughness, maybe put out the reflectivity to all the way up to 1, reduce the glossiness when it comes to surfaces which we don't want to see much reflections or glossiness from them. The reflection is okay, don't worry about it. Put it all the way up, even though it will be an art surface which is not much reflected. You can deal with it, even though if it's reflective. Almost anything, any object in life, we have some kind of reflectivity, and one is somewhere that it's like the possibilities are okay for this kind of reflectivity. You will see. Let's take a render just to get to see this. Okay. The glossiness also doing his work, so you don't have nothing to worry about. It will reduce at the same time the amount of reflectivity. So as you can see, this is what we get. Maybe I will put the glossiness a little bit higher because we can't see much the details. Maybe I will reduce the reflectivity, which in this case it's really taking much of the colors for this shader. Okay, so this is how I'm adjusting this. Now the next thing is maybe to go down here and play with some settings for first for our BRDF. What BRDF is doing is like whenever you want to choose from which direction you will see reflection on an object, this is where you do it. Okay, because here where it says 0 degrees reflections, this is where your camera is in front of an object, and the picture should, the object should reflect some things, but not not like expose you to too much light in front of your camera by reflecting those reflections. So you can choose how much reflections you get from this point of view, which is 0 degree reflections for the camera point to the object, or from the 90 degrees reflections, which will come from both of the sides of the sphere. Okay, so this is where you do it. These changes. Also, you want to apply the ambient occlusion, so click on use ambient occlusion, and you can maybe add some more samples just to see details much more, but also this will increase render time. So put it over 16, and whenever you would like to take the final render shot of your model, make sure that you maybe apply some more numbers over here. Okay, now the last thing I want to talk about is the standard bump. Okay, you can see that this ball and the hex kind of texture we have here, it's very nice, but if we will want to add a bump map for it, this is how we are going to do this. So how you do this? You come over texture. Okay, texture, it's where Maya saves all the nodes for this for the texture you used on your shaders. So you move on to texture, you hold down the file, which is this. I'm going to use this file for the bump, okay, also for the texture and also for the bump. So you take your click on it with your middle mouse button and hover it to this standard bump, okay, and that's pretty much it. This is how you create a bump for your shader. Okay, let's render this and let's see what the results are. Okay, you can see that we can use the same file just to give our object a bump mapping. So you can play with the bump, the path. It's really whatever you would like to do with it. I'm not sure, but it helps, like when you want to create the tree branch, just to give them a little bit kind of realistic look, where while there is cracks and the path on those cracks. So this is how we use bump to just bring out those details a little bit more. And just another little thing before I will close this tutorial is whenever you're dealing with these kind of things, when it starts to be a little bit complicated in order to create them, you know, you start to ask yourself what I'm going to do now, what I'm going to start building those stuff for each shader. Well, it doesn't have to be like this. So I'll show you first a few tips on how to create those shaders. You can choose first your object, okay, which now this object contains using this shader. Now if you will click on this icon here, okay, so it will graph the materials on selected object, and in this case it will show you this. Okay, so if I will choose the floor right now and click on this, it will graph this one, but you know that you use this one, so you want to graph it, and at the same time you want to duplicate it in order to use the duplicated shader network in different object for different object. So what you do is you click on the main material, which is the shader itself. Okay, this is the Maya material X. First of all, give it a name, change the name for it. For this one it will be ball, sphere, okay, I don't know, sphere, and I'm not sure that this is how you write sphere, but never mind. And you want to go over edit and duplicate and shading network. So it will create another shading network, but it will be a little bit you know, it's like doing its stuff, but it's the same shading network. You just need to move the nodes to appropriate place, and then if you will click on this node, the My Material shader here, and using this two arrows button here, so you will graph it and you will only see it. Okay, now you can the best thing to do from here is actually to change the name for this and call it something else, but in this case Maya already give it a numeric order, hierarchy, number, or whatever, sphere 1. So this is how we can know how to see the differences between them. Now the next thing is maybe you want to choose another file texture. So this is not much of a hard thing to do. You can click on the file node, from the attribute editor switch to the file tab, click on the texture, and voila, choose your choose whatever you feel like, okay, and you can apply it to maybe to this. Okay, so this is how you duplicate things like this, and you don't get to mess around with them, whatever. And just another little thing before I really close this tutorial is, whenever you're dealing with those kind of materials and texture, sometimes your texture could be in a wrong extension, I'm not sure. Okay, so it could be JPEG or any TIFF or Targa or whatever. So sometimes, like the JPEG, it could get to this, that first you won't see the texture on the surface itself. Okay, you can see it projected even if you click on tap on 6 on your keyboard. Yeah, you won't get to see something that is visible in order to obtain what you're doing. So it's always good to render this first, you know, in low resolution gate, just to see how it looks, and then to do whatever you need to adjust the thing you're dealing with. Okay, if you need to rotate this floor so you can see this woman from the other other angle, do it. Also, it's always important to name your actual nodes. Okay, see, first, it doesn't look that good when it's black. Also, the thing that I talked about before, the JPEG extension or whatever extension you are going to use, sometimes they will get wacky, and again, you will have no clue on how or which one of them is the exact kind of node you created. So always name it. And I will just give you example for what I just talked about. It will take him about a few seconds to load the scene. So let's load the tree scene. By the way, as I told you before, it's 600 and something megabytes, this file, so it's taking a little bit time to load up. Okay. La 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 la. Not sure what to say right now. It's taking too much time. Okay, so as you can see in this scene, the tree bar scene, I added those menus for all the tables, and I did actually use good texture for it, but the problem that this texture looks like this on the scene and also on my nodes. Okay, so this is why I'm saying that it's always good to name your stuff and just to know what they are, what we are dealing with. Okay, and also just one more thing is, you don't need the directional light of your Maya Physical and Sun and Sky to stay at the same point. Okay, you can move it a little bit up from the scene or to any direction you would like, and just try to play with it. It will give you different results on your rendering. Also, adding a very huge, very huge objects that like blocking most of the lights will help you to get like a better look, or just to give some other taste to your light setup. So it's always good to use something that will probably block some of the light. Either you can, change the values of the f-stop button in your Maya photographic exposer, but still yet you need to sometimes use bigger objects or just some polyplanes, polycubes, just to reduce the amount of light in your scene. In this scene of the tree bar, you can see that I used two buildings which I need them to be here. Okay, this is how the scene looks like in the real drawing of my friend. And also the walls over there are actually, it's my own adding just to get some more just to reduce some of the lights. So the lights actually comes only from the upside, from the upside, and also the tree is blocking much more light in this scene. So this is why most of the picture of this get to look quite good. Okay, and this is it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, that it was easy. If it doesn't, make sure you watch it again. It's not really easy, hard. So that's it. Have fun, have a nice day. Hope you get to learn something new, and it will help you in the future. And we'll see you soon in new tutorials. So see you soon, bye. Okay, just something I forgot, so I had to restart this just to start again the recording. And this is the tutorial I made, and I want to show you something I forgot about the render setting, just so it won't so you won't forget about it. I'm not sure that I told you to set the secondary diffuse bounce in the indirect lighting. So in most cases it will be 0. Make sure it's in 1. It will help to do some things to the shaders, and that's it for this. It's very quick and easy, so make sure it's ticked. I'm not sure if I did it or talked about it, but just make sure it's there. Okay, so see you soon, bye and goodbye.